Well, I've been posting videos on this channel for what? It's coming up to about a year now. I'd say shy of about a month. And the one thing that I've always, that's really been prevalent since I've really been doing it is some of the excuses that conspiracy theorists come up. And this one in particular, because it leads into another really big bugbear of theirs. But the excuse in particular that they like to use is that any modern history we have now, information, is entirely irrelevant, and that you have to use books or sources that are about 60 years old, because apparently anything older than that is safe. Now, this argument is so ridiculous. Hey, let's begin with 60 years ago. We did not know things that we know now, and that is an absolute fact. There are many things like computers. How far have computers come in that time? And someone who was maybe 60 now, who was born 60 years ago, will be able to surely tell you about how fast technology has come on itself. I mean, I myself, I'm a child of the 90s, so I've seen technology come on in leaps and bounds. So again, this is one of the things that, as humans, we are constantly adding to our information. We are constantly adding to our our knowledge, and this again feeds into one of the things that, again, the reason why, again, it's the excuse that you use, because let me sort of put the scenario where they used it on me, and I was. Basically, the fact, what they were saying was that, Japan killed its own citizens. Well, Japan never killed its own citizens, and they used examples like the USSR and Nazi Germany. Now, they never killed their own citizens to the extent that the USSR and Nazi Germany did. And then they brought up, the kamikaze pilots. Well, again, as I replied to them, look, at the time, the imperial military had a huge samurai tradition. It was, you never surrender, you die. Even if it means, killing yourself. That was their creed, that was their motto. And that had been so drilled in to the military society and essentially the Japanese people at large. So when the kamikaze idea finally comes on, it was a volunteer program. So all the kamikaze pilots volunteered for the program. And I know there are examples of people who were in the program who said, well, when they were there, they lost it, they lost the bottle. But initially, they did volunteer for it. Now, once I'd used that, they then came back and said, well, you'd have to go back 60 years to get any real information. And again, this feeds into when you're trying to show sources and information to conspiracy theorists. This is again what they will use. It's almost a denial of anything modern that contradicts them, but they were more than happy to use things that are modern that support their position. One of the big things they use is the 1996 biodiversity report. Now, why the 1996 version and not the subsequent versions? Well, it supports one of their arguments, of I can't remember who it is now. I can't remember what it is. It's something to do with Agenda 21. I think it's something to do with genetics or interbreeding or something like that. I've forgotten it now. It's so annoying. Yeah, but I've done another video. If you want to go view that video. But this is the point of when I bring up that fact of why to use the 1996 version, why not the more subsequent versions of the report. Oh, well, they were just, and then that's it. They sort of teeter off into nothing and normally ends the conversation. But one thing I was trying to get, this guy to see was, how much education has come on since, education now compared to 60 years ago is vastly different in how we teach people. And this guy just could not see, the difference. I think he posted a quote from, I think it was Lord Russell's The Effects of Science on Society. And basically the quote he used was something along the lines of, we've got to crush all creativity. They can't be allowed any creative thought or anything like that. Well, to someone that's been, again, through the education system, that quote is entirely wrong. Because English, what are you taught? You are taught to think about what the writer is trying to imply, what images he's creating, things like that. Then you've got subjects of art and drama, which are very clearly creative. IT now, with where they encourage you to get creative and things like that. Media, where again they encourage you to talk and come up with ideas and things like that. And it is the very antithesis of what education is today. And again, I put on the thing of, he comes back at me with several quotes of how, universities are all, oh, you just, do all yes and nod at the professor. Well, that's not true at all. Anyone who's ever wrote a dissertation will tell you it's entirely your own work. And the amount of reading and fact-checking and quotes and everything you have to do in a dissertation, to get the best mark possible, has to come from you. Now, you get help from your tutors, but they're not going to tell you what to put or anything like that. I mean, mine certainly didn't. They gave me advice of, well, you should read this person, or maybe you should pursue this sort of path. But at no point did any of my tutors ever hold my hand. So, and this is, again, comes back to, they have a huge, almost fear of anyone who was on a sort of, I don't want to come across, anyone who has sort of a higher educational educational learning than them. Now, there are many conspiracy theorists who have been to university and have done this. And it's almost strange that the conspiracy theorists come out with, we love education, but then in the same sentence sometimes, or in the same things, they will come out and bash education. How dare you educate your children like this? And it really is so annoying when you're trying to get through to people and it's showing them, look, one of the points I said to the guy, look, just Google modern education and see how, education is today. And he's just like, no. It's so annoying to try and get through to these people on so many levels, because it does become a belief system. And many times when you're trying to tell them how, you're wrong on this way of thinking, or maybe, you know, this, they construe it as almost a personal attack on them, which is probably why you're, most of the time when you question conspiracy theories, you get such a, you know, almost a hard fire back on you. But that's my thoughts on the excuse, well, one of the excuses. I'll probably do another video of excuses that have cropped up in my year, so to say, of doing this channel. But you know, if someone, you know, if a conspiracy theorist has used an excuse against you, what was it, basically, and how ridiculous was it?